Have you ever wondered what keeps a person moving? When life says stop, maybe it's faith, maybe it's love, or maybe it's the quiet fire inside, the one that never stops trying. Every dream begins with doubt, but some hearts refuse to listen to fear. They fall, they rise, they shine, because deep inside us all, there's a spark that believes we are more than our limits. She was once told that every step she took might be her last on her feet. For a little girl who loved to run through army fields, chase butterflies, and ride bikes with the wind in her hair, those words were like thunder in a clear sky. At just 5, Deepa discovered a tumor along her spine, a quiet storm that slowly shadowed her childhood. Hospitals replaced playgrounds, needles replaced paintbrushes. But her laughter never gave up. Even as pain crept up her back, she still dreamed of open skies. Years passed. She grew into a woman, a wife, a mother, and just when life seemed calm, the storm returned. In 1999, the tumor struck again, fiercer than before. Doctors whispered hard truths. You may not walk again, ever. 11 hours on the operating table. More than 180 stitches running down her spine, each one a scar, each one a story of survival. When she opened her eyes, the world had changed. The floor felt farther, her legs silent. Tears came, uninvited, heavy, endless. But beside her stood Love. Her husband held her hand and said softly, "Then I'll walk for you, until you learn to fly again." Her daughters hugged her tightly, their tiny voices trembling. "You're still our hero, Mom." And so, she didn't break, she rebuilt. Her wheelchair became her new pair of wings, her courage, the wind that pushed her forward. Through endless nights of pain and silence, she learned that strength isn't the absence of weakness, it's the decision to rise despite it. Every tear watered her roots, and every scar became a mark of light. This is how Deepa Malik turned paralysis into power, and pain into purpose, reminding the world that even when life takes away your steps, you can still move mountains. Her recovery was not just about healing her body, it was about fighting herself. Every morning began with her husband's hands lifting her carefully from the bed. Every move was fire, pain crawling through her spine, stealing her breath. Sometimes she clenched her fists, biting her lip until it bled, just to keep from screaming. Her daughters sat close, their small voices breaking the silence. "You can do it, Mom. We believe in you." Those words were tiny, but they carried mountains. Day after day, she pushed through, gritting her teeth, lifting her body inch by inch. But there were days when the pain won, days when she dropped her head, tears falling on her trembling hands. "I can't," she whispered. Her husband knelt beside her, holding her hands tight. "Then I'll be your strength, until you find yours again." In that moment, silence spoke louder than words. Love became medicine, and somewhere deep inside, courage began to rise again. She tried once more, and then again, each attempt a small victory, each breath a quiet rebellion against fate. Because sometimes, heroes aren't born in stadiums or spotlight. They're born in small rooms filled with pain, where love refuses to give up, and where the human spirit learns how to rise again. At first, even lifting her arm felt like moving a mountain. Every breath was a battle, every stretch, a silent victory. Deepa began her journey of recovery, training her body from stillness to strength. Day after day, she pushed her wheelchair to the rehab center, teaching her muscles to remember what hope feels like. She learned to balance, to lift, to breathe deeper, and with each effort, her smile grew stronger. For every drop of sweat, there was a dream reborn, not just to live, but to live fully, fearlessly, and freely. There are moments in life that change everything, not because the world shifts, but because someone helps you see yourself differently. For Deepa, that moment came the day she met her coach. She had come to the sports ground in her wheelchair, watching others throw, run, and lift their energy filling the air. For a while, she just sat there, wondering, could I ever do this? Her coach walked over, looked her straight in the eyes and said, "You don't need legs to chase dreams. You just need the will to throw them farther than your fear." Something stirred inside her, a quiet fire. long buried beneath years of doubt. That day, Deepa picked up the shot put for the first time. It was heavy, not just with metal, but with every memory of pain she had carried, and when she lifted it, for the first time in a long time, she felt light. Every small victory whispered to Deepa, "You're stronger than yesterday." Each medal she won wasn't just a piece of metal, it was a message that she belonged here, that her story was only beginning. People started to notice the woman in the wheelchair who smiled brighter than her pain, who showed up every day no matter how heavy the world felt, and in those quiet moments between cheers and silence, Deepa began to believe, not just in dreams, but in herself. Her story was no longer about what she had lost, but about what she was becoming. The National Training Center, where dreams are shaped and limits are tested, for Deepa, it wasn't just a place to train, it was where she began to rebuild herself. One throw, one breath, one heartbeat at a time. Mornings started before sunrise, the air cold, the ground still, and Deepa already on the field. Her coach's voice echoing through the dawn. Again, Deepa, one more throw. Her arms burned, her back ached. Some days, her hands trembled so much she could barely grip the shot put, but she never stopped. Each failure was a lesson, each bruise a reminder that courage isn't about being unbroken, it's about showing up, even when everything hurts. The other athletes began to watch her differently, not with pity, but with respect. Because Deepa wasn't just training to win a medal, she was training to prove that the human spirit has no boundaries. Years of training led her to one moment, the field of Rio, 2016. The world watched as Deepa Malik, in her wheelchair, took a deep breath beneath the blazing lights. Her hands gripped the shot put, heavy with weight, heavier with dreams. She looked up, smiled, and with every ounce of strength, she threw not just the metal ball, but every pain, every scar, every doubt she'd ever known. When the silver medal was placed around her neck, it wasn't just India that cheered, it was every soul who ever believed that courage could fly. That day, Deepa didn't just win a medal, she proved that the human spirit has no limits. Deepa became more than an athlete, she became a mirror of courage. Through her story of strength and adventure, she changed how India saw disability, not as limitation, but as limitless potential. She showed the world that heroes don't always walk, some roll, and still rise higher than ever. This was the true story of Deepa Malik, a woman who turned challenges into courage, and pain into purpose. If her journey touched your heart, subscribe to Joys of Life TV for more stories that inspire hope and strength. Double quotes. Thank you for watching, and see you again on Joys of Life TV.